Andy Flexen here for Seconds Out with our old friend Johnny Nelson, former cruiserweight champion of the world, of course, and now a respected pundit and commentator for Sky Sports. Johnny, looking a lot better. Last time I saw you were on crutches.
Yeah, I had a hip replacement. That was like 6 weeks ago now, so seems a lifetime away, and makes you appreciate good health because it really put me out a little bit. So crutches are gone. When people say, how's your hip, I say, I don't know, it's in the bin. I've got a new one, so we're all good, we're all good.
Is that connected to your boxing career at all? Just like a lot of movement involved in your style?
I doubt it's years of, I used to like run. I loved running, and I loved loads of hard road work. But I do like 13, 14 miles. For a big guy, doing it 3 or 4 times a week for 20 odd years, there's a lot of press on the joints, on the knees and everything. So that's all it was, it's down to, but you pay the price, you pay the piper. So I understand that, so it's what I was willing to do.
We're here at the press conference with a big show at the M&S Bank Arena this weekend, topped by Liam Smith against Sam Eggington. But a fight that's caught the public's imagination is Anthony Fowler against Scott Fitzgerald. Just wanted to ask, from your experience, can you pick out an opponent from your career where you were kind of involved in this kind of back and forth, bitter feud type thing?
Well, I never really got that personal with any of my opponents. I think probably the most personal one was when I boxed for the world title against Carl Thompson, and it was our gym against their gym. Sheffield against Manchester. Carl was taking everybody out. I was a fan of Carl's before we boxed, so it was a case of it was a mental warfare. You've got to get in the head, and that's what these boys are doing. These boys are trying to wind each other up and get on each other's skin. Because if you get an opponent to the point where he hates you and he just wants to smash you, all the stuff he's learned in the gym about throwing 15 jabs this round, left-right combination this round, that's out the window. He just wants to smash you. So you've got to get your opponent that enraged, that angry, that upset with you, that he's forgetting all that. And this is why this happens with fighters. This is why it will always happen over and over again.
Who do you think's winning that psychological battle?
I think Fowler. I think Fowler has got that. He's got that smugness about him, and he knows. He's got that knowing smugness, and so that's where the problem is. And he has that arrogance about him anyway. And I think his union with Dave Caldwell has probably been the best thing for him, just to smooth the rough edges. But he doesn't need to lose it and just keep it in there.
So is Fowler kind of the Johnny Nelson in this fight, and Fitzgerald's more the Carl Thompson?
Unfortunately, yeah. He just knows how to play him. He knows what buttons to press. He knows how to wind him up, and that's how this fight's going.
Just talk about more broader stuff. 3 heavyweight champions, if you call Fury a champion, lineal, whatever you think about that, but all fighting kind of lesser opponents next on instead of fighting each other. What's your view on that? Is it inevitable because of the broadcast situation?
It's the calm before the storm. These guys know they're going to have to cross paths this year. You can only hustle and delay and box A, B, C and D before you actually fight the man that's supposed to be fighting. So these 3 have got to fight some way, somehow. Be it a rematch for Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, be it Deontay Wilder against Anthony Joshua. You don't know. You don't know which way it's going to go. I think if I was Deontay Wilder, I'd go for Anthony Joshua because that's where the biggest dough is. That's where the biggest scalp is. That's where there's more belts to win. I think Tyson Fury is the nightmare out of a lot of them because he's elusive enough to give anybody a heart attack. He might not be able to punch as hard as Joshua or as Wilder, but he can box. And that's where the problem is. So common sense would tell me if I was Wilder, I'd go for AJ, and vice versa with AJ. And for Tyson Fury, he's in a position where he's going to be like, who needs me? Who isn't that who needs him club? And if you don't have to fight him, you won't fight him. He'll shout as loud as he wants, but he'll be easy to ignore.
What's the better fight out of the 3 that are coming up between those heavyweights? So Tyson Fury against Tom Schwartz, Anthony Joshua against Jarrell Miller, and Deontay Wilder against Dominic Breazeale. Which is the superior fight?
I think they're all intriguing. I think we're going to measure Wilder against Breazeale and see how well he does, and compared to Joshua. Tyson Fury is going to just show us his boxing skills, what he's got. We don't know much about Tom Schwartz and being heavyweight, and so we're not going to be able to measure that against anybody. And obviously Anthony Joshua's first outing in the US, he's fighting like Big Dave Miller, big unit. How's he going to dispatch him if he is going to be dispatching him? So I think the only one we could read anything from is the Breazeale Wilder fight. That's the only one we can read something from, because Breazeale has fought one of the others. And the others, I think it's not a done deal for Anthony Joshua. Never know in a million years. And even for Tyson Fury, for Tyson Fury, I worry that he'll take the lesser fights, and there's a chance you can lose to somebody you shouldn't lose to, because he's thinking, he's looking over the hill at other fighters. So they're all intriguing.
Brilliant. Well, we thank you for your time and look forward to a great show on Saturday.
You're welcome. Nice one.